Lord Vexorus had conquered 17 star systems. His genetic line had ruled the Imperium for 500 years. He stood 9 feet tall, with skin that could deflect energy weapons and reflexes honed by centuries of combat enhancement. When he walked into the academy training grounds, even the most seasoned instructors tensed. "I have heard rumors," Vexorus announced, his voice like thunder, "that humans are being trained in our military academy. I find this offensive." The academy's commandant, a Krell who had seen countless conflicts, stepped forward carefully. "The humans have proven themselves valuable soldiers, Lord Vexorus. They bring unique." "Silence," Vexorus commanded. "I will prove their inferiority myself. Bring me a human cadet for single combat." The Academy's human cohort consisted of only 12 soldiers. Most were experienced, hardened. But the youngest, a girl named Maya Chen, only 16 years old, volunteered immediately. The gathered crowd thought it was suicide. Maya was small, barely 5 feet 4 inches. Vexorus was nearly twice her height and 3 times her mass. She wore standard combat armor. He wore reinforced plating that had stopped plasma weapons. Her only advantage was her neural implant, the same one all human soldiers carried to enhance reaction time. "Child," Vexorus said almost gently, "I will make this quick. You have my respect for your bravery, at least." The combat began. Vexorus moved first, a devastating overhead strike designed to end the fight instantly. It was fast. Blindingly fast. By any standard logic, Maya should have been crushed. But Maya had grown up on Earth. She had sparred with older soldiers, trained with instructors who exploited every possible weakness. Most importantly, she understood something fundamental that Vexorus had forgotten: size wasn't always superior. She didn't block his strike. Instead, she sidestepped and grabbed his extended arm. As his massive frame committed to the momentum of his attack, Maya pulled, using his own force against him. Vexorus tumbled forward, his considerable weight becoming a liability. He crashed to the ground hard. The crowd gasped. Vexorus had never been thrown in combat. He rose slowly, and now there was anger in his eyes. Again. This time he came at her with calculated precision, attempting to trap her in a corner where she couldn't escape. But Maya had trained against opponents stronger than her since childhood. She used the walls, bouncing off surfaces, forcing Vexorus into positions where his size hindered rather than helped. She struck his joints, the weak points in his armor plating. She didn't try to match his strength. She targeted his balance, his positioning, his vulnerabilities. Each time Vexorus attempted a powerful strike, Maya evaded and countered. And each counter hurt. After 7 minutes, Vexorus was breathing heavily, blood dripping from a gash above his eye. He had landed no serious strikes. Maya bore only minor bruises. "How?" he demanded, rage and confusion warring in his voice. Maya stood before him, chest heaving but controlled. "You were trained to win against opponents like you," she explained. "Beings with similar size, similar strengths. You were never trained to fight something completely different." She circled slowly. "On Earth, we don't have the luxury of being the strongest. We evolved fighting creatures bigger, faster, and stronger than us. So we learned something else. We learned how to think like prey that refuses to be hunted." Vexorus charged again, but this time without strategy, pure rage driving him. It was exactly what Maya had been waiting for. She dropped low, swept his legs, and as he fell, she struck the pressure point at the base of his skull, a technique that rendered even the strongest warriors momentarily stunned. Vexorus hit the ground and didn't get up. The medical team rushed forward, but Maya waved them away. "He's fine. Just stunned. Give him 5 minutes." The crowd erupted. Human soldiers cheered. Alien cadets stared in disbelief. When Vexorus regained consciousness, he was silent for a long time. Finally, he looked at Maya with something that wasn't quite respect, but wasn't quite anger either. "You have bested me," he said quietly. "In all my centuries, I have never been so thoroughly defeated." "You were beaten the moment you assumed size and strength determined victory," Maya replied respectfully. "You were beaten when you stopped thinking and started relying on what always worked before." Vexorus stood slowly, extending his hand to Maya. "What is your name, small warrior?" "Maya Chen." "Maya Chen," he repeated. "You have taught the Imperium something vital today. We have grown complacent. We have forgotten that evolution is an arms race. You humans, you are still evolving, still adapting, still finding new ways to survive." He turned to address the gathering crowd. "The Imperium will recognize humanity as a full military power. No more second-class status. Any civilization that produces warriors like this must be respected as equals." As Vexorus left the training grounds, he paused beside Maya one final time. "I have conquered 17 systems through strength," he said. "But you have conquered my perception with intelligence. That is a more dangerous victory. Never forget that." Later, historians would mark that day as the moment humanity truly became part of the galactic community, not through diplomacy or luck, but through proving that the smallest, youngest, most unlikely warrior could teach even the most powerful beings a fundamental truth. The most lethal weapon wasn't strength. It was the refusal to accept defeat, combined with the intelligence to find an unconventional path to victory. And humans had perfected that weapon millions of years ago.